Hi there, Year 8. We're going to talk to you, as I'm not there today, about creating the label. Can you make sure, please, that you are sat in the right seat? You're sat in the right seat next door in the computer room, and also you're on your best behaviour. You've got work set here for you. I expect it to be done in the lesson, ready for us to do practical when we get back. I've had some reports that some of the Year 8 classes have been a bit disappointing in terms of behaviour. So we're going to start to create the label that goes around the jar that goes on top of the sweet dispenser. So if you turn in your booklet, you should see that the pages that you have created are as follows. So page 7 will have 2 of your logo designs that have been completed, and then obviously a little bit of writing about which logo you've chosen and why. Page 8, we went through this last time. This should have the logo design that you've completed in ICT, so designed on the computer, and that has been cut and pasted into that area to show me what you have done. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next page. We're going to skip a couple of pages. So page 10 has some final idea labels, as you can see. So you'll need to find your original logo that you've done on your ICT, which you would have obviously have saved, and we're going to go on the computers next door and we're going to find the template. So same places as normal, so my computer, shared resources, design technology, Year 8 sweet dispenser, and this time you're looking for jar label template. Now when you open this up, you will find this design here. So this is basically the label that you have got to go around the jar. This is the gluing area, and this design here is actually to go on top of the jar as like another little graphic as well. Below that you'll see a number of examples, again as usual. So here's my example, teacher example, you'll see with the graphics that I've completed, as well as a little bit of design on the top. There's also my black and white one. Okay, there's also a multicolored one, and you'll see that there's also one with a lot more detail on that has got some stretch and challenge on, such as using these logos here to give it a little bit of make it look like it's really quite realistic, as well as adding a stock number, as well as adding some detail on the top of the jar. So you want to start with this here, really, your template. Design your background to start off with, and then you'll need to put your logo on the top. So first thing to remember is that when you try and bring in the logo that you've designed, so if I grab this logo here that I've designed and then copy it, and then when I go and paste it, when I try and shrink it to the label, you can see it becomes a right mess because it gets a bit pixelated. It doesn't like the shrinking of the text. So what I suggest you do is a couple of things. You could highlight it and then right mouse click and group it, but what I would do is I would really get rid of the background, okay, that you don't need, and then I would use the snipping tool to snip round that to collect it as one sort of logo design, and then that way it will come in all as one piece. So here's one that I've created earlier, and I've snipped around it. I now need to remove obviously the format and the background, so we go to format and remove background. Okay, there's a couple of areas that we need to keep, so we're going to mark across here, a few areas through here, and then I can click off. Now because I've snip that, you can see that I can bring it in and size it without any problems whatsoever. So that's my design there. Usually put it into the middle of the label. If you want to go into the stretch and challenge and pinch these items here, you can. Okay, because that's a stretch and challenge to add those detail. I try and put them towards the edge and keep them in that sort of position. This is obviously going to wrap around and overlap this. You might want to go in and change this. You might want to go in and change this as well to get that in the right place. And then you need to, you know, some kind of background. You can see the ones here. I've done a gradient background and brought some clip art in. This one here I did a gradient of black and white and then found a skyline to do as well. Yeah, it's really up to you in terms of how you would like to design that background. So you could go onto the internet, you could search for sort of a clip art. So I could do sort of sweet background, depending on obviously the shot that you're going to do. So I could choose let's say this one here, and I could right mouse click on that. So I could right mouse click on that and copy that image. Okay, and then I could actually put that in the background. Now it needs cropping. You can see quite clearly. So I was going to crop that. Okay, and I'm going to stretch it to the background that I want, and then I'm going to send that to the back and then get rid of this yellow one, and then I'm going to repeat that and send it to the back. Alright, so very easily I've just stolen something off the internet. So once you've done that and you've designed your label, you will need to print it accordingly using the KCA printer. Printer properties, change the colour. Mr. Molyneux can help you with that. And if you look at page 11, there's an area there for you to stick in your design. So it should look something like this, and you also might have other elements that you've designed, okay, that can be placed alongside as well. These go on the top of the jar. So what we're looking for by the end of the lesson, year 8, is page 7 completed with your 2 logos and the logo you like Y. Page 8 completed with the logo design. Opening up the template again, which is on Shared Resources Design Technology Year 8 Sweet Dispenser Jar Label Template. Find the template, okay, and then I want you to have a go at designing your label. But remember to make sure you print out in colour and only print out the one slide that you need, and then stick it into page 11. Okay, thank you very much. Should take quite a bit of the lesson, most of the lesson to do that. Best behaviour please, and I'll see you next week ready for practical.